Toothpaste, toothbrush in your mouth now. What?
Matter. You gotta be mad at me like you mean it.
Eloise, you brush those teeth. Don't make me come in here and have to say it twice.
Nice.
Hi, welcome to What the Flick. Christy, Alonzo, Matt, and Ben. We're all here, and I think all of us have seen Black or White? Okay, 3 out of 4 of us have seen Black or White. Just grab it, please.
Yes, Black or White is the story of Kevin Costner is grandfather to a mixed-race little girl. Early on in the film, his wife has recently passed away. The little girl's parents, her mother has died, or Kevin Costner's daughter has died. The father's out of the picture, but then the little girl's African-American grandmother thinks it's important that she end up having some access to her family, connection to her family. But it goes to court, so let's watch the clip.
This is Eloise. She's my granddaughter. What are you doing?
I'm gonna make pancakes. Set the table, please.
My wife and I raised her after my daughter died.
Bye, Papa.
Then life threw us a curve, and now her grandmother's gone too. The love of my life.
Do you really plan on raising this girl all by yourself?
This is every day?
Yep.
Do you need to call her other grandmother?
Grandma Wee Wee?
Yeah.
The last person I need around me right now is Grandma Wee Wee.
Miss Miller, that's right. You got a plan for Eloise in light of all this?
You tied it like a tennis shoe.
She's got a whole lot of family down with me.
Well, you can always come for a swim. Oh, Lord.
Hey, guys! Hey, baby.
I'm thinking we need to start talking about shared custody.
Not gonna happen.
She has a father.
You live in a blind spot when it comes to your son. He's a junkie.
And you're a drunk!
Okay, thank you.
Run on home, fill your bathtub with whiskey, and just soak in it. Have yourself an old drunk man's bubble bath.
Got it.
Good.
That's you, me, and Daddy.
You just want her away from us, the black people.
I've lost everything. I can't lose her, too.
We need to let her know right now that she's worth fighting for.
Do you dislike black people?
Not all of them. This isn't about black and white.
I love you, Mama.
This is about Eloise.
Oh, this skinny one right here. Is it supposed to be me?
No.
It's not my favorite.
And also there's a suggestion that Kevin Costner is not fit to do this. I mean, his wife, who dies right at the beginning of the movie, she was the caregiver. She doesn't.
Right.
He doesn't know how to comb her hair. He doesn't know where her school is, and he drinks.
Right.
He drinks all the time.
He drinks a lot. I mean, he's a successful lawyer, but alcohol.
A functioning alcoholic.
He's a functioning alcoholic. That's
Right. This is a very frustrating movie in that it wants to approach these prickly topics. It wants to be really brutally honest about them, and then kind of shies away in favor of melodrama, in favor of smoothing things over.
That's right.
And there's some very shocking language in here, and
That I think is in there just to be shocking. Like, I don't think it really earns that.
Exactly. And then it just becomes this courtroom drama.
Right. Not a
kind of
great,
like Big Eyes. All of a sudden it becomes a courtroom drama.
That's right. Yeah. Like there's one scene when Kevin Costner, a little bit drunk, and he's hired a guy who drives for him, but the guy's really a tutor, a math tutor and a French tutor to the girl and eventually to Costner. And I think that guy was great. He sort of stole the scenes that he was in. But so he goes to see Octavia Spencer. She's the fraternal grandmother.
Paternal.
The paternal. Thank you. She's also a twin. I don't know what I'm talking about. And so he goes to see Octavia Spencer. Let's just leave it at that. She's the black grandmother. And they have a very real good conversation, the best conversation I think in the movie. They get a little angry, and she says, "You just don't like the black part of her family." And he says, because there's some chance that that's a little true, right? Although he's certainly not a common day racist, you know. He gets along with everybody, but it stings him. But he's pissed that she won't let them have a real conversation about it by always going there. And he says that to her. Why, I don't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, "Why are you always doing that? You're always taking it to that level." And then, what am I supposed to say to that? He says to her. Right? And I feel for him in that moment. And if the movie had found that voice for longer than that 90 seconds, would have been a really good movie, but they didn't. And then they kept going back to sort of tropes, and it felt like, I think I say this a lot, but this felt like an after-school special that, holy shit, they got Kevin Costner and Octavia Spencer. Like, so it made it better, than a regular after-school special, but it still felt like that.
I thought that this was a good, relatively nuanced performance from Costner.
Yeah,
he's really good in it.
I think that we are seeing some of his best work in the last few movies that he's done. He's really good in this. I mean, he is starting to sound a little bit gravelly, maybe, but I think he's really good here. I would have liked this script and this direction to make these characters a little bit more human, because I feel like there's especially the moment where he drops the N-bomb. Like, that I felt is there just kind of for shock value. And then the movie falls all over itself to justify later in the film why he gets to do that. And it kind of took me out of the movie.
Right.
And I kind of thought, you know what, that's all window dressing. That completely takes away from the core, the best part of the movie. I think the sharpest part is that conversation you talk about, Ben. And I wish that the movie was as smart about dealing with this family situation as it was anywhere else. And it's not. And it's really frustrating. I mean, it gets a little bit into, everybody tells Octavia Spencer that she's got this blind spot where her son, played by Andre Holland, is. And I think that the movie's good about that, because Andre Holland as the not son-in-law, but as the...
He's the father.
He's the father, and he's got a drug issue, and he's been out of the picture for 7 years.
And Octavia Spencer is this woman who, she's a business owner. She's got like 6 businesses. She's really together. She takes care of her family.
Takes care of cousins.
She's a great character. And she's got this huge blind spot with her son, who is a drug user, and she plays it in a sense that it's believable that she's got that blind spot, but they don't do that much with it. And
they don't really do anything. Just have that be a thing with her. We don't quite see how that's... Because the fact of the matter is that never was a factor before. For 7 years, she hasn't been fighting for her son to see this girl. So it doesn't quite make sense when they say you've got this huge blind spot for your son, which is believable for that character to have it. But then why hasn't it come up in the previous 7 years where she's been sort of pushing or fighting to get her son involved in this girl's life? So that made her entry now feel disingenuous, although you know why she did it, because the primary caregiver was gone and this drunk Kevin Costner might not be up to the job. So,
well, this is based on what actually happened to Mike Binder, who wrote and directed this. This is based on something that actually happened in his family, right? That he and his...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he and his wife cared for, I guess, the wife's sister died and the dad was out of the picture, and there was a mixed race kid, a little boy. And so they ended up raising him partly in Santa Monica, and white, wealthy with Santa Monica, but would bring him to, I can't recall where in LA it was. Maybe it was Compton, maybe it was South Central, someplace.
They reference Compton in the movie.
So this is based on his own experiences, and he wanted to show what that was like to have this confluence of cultures and misunderstandings and whatever, but it feels really tidy.
Yeah.
And the conclusion is foregone from the very, very beginning, and how they get there kind of meanders towards some difficult conversations, but then shies away all the time.
Yeah, it's just
also, you have Jennifer Ely playing the wife who dies in the very, very beginning, does not get to say a single word. A massive waste of a great actress. She comes in like dream sequences and memories to Costner when he's drunk.
There's a lot of kneeling and
they don't let her do any. She says not a single word in the entire movie.
Well, and you talk about tidy. There's something that happens at the end of the movie that all but ruins the movie. Like, you have this movie where you've got these characters that because of who they are, they're butting heads. And then there's a moment towards the end of the movie in the pool that I think is a disastrous ending.
It's just the drama, the fake drama to get to the conclusion that we want to get to.
Also, the score, I want to mention, Terrence Blanchard did the score, and it's very intrusive.
Oh, I hated it.
Yeah,
and I don't usually notice it. I thought, I mean, they're driving through to Compton. This is a totally nice neighborhood that they're where Octavia Spencer lives, but they're driving down there, and we're listening to Billy Joel.
Right.
It just seemed old Billy Joel.
Don't ask me why.
Right, don't ask me. Yeah, it just seemed like, hey, we got this song. Play it now.
Well, nothing says white guy.
Right. That's
right. And then 70s Billy Joel. The little girl in it is very good.
But they weren't like, if it was what he was listening to in his car, like I then expected it to be, but it's not.
It's
just
it's just on the soundtrack.
Yes.
No, I got it. I would totally have.
It's a weird song choice.
Yeah.
Also, the little girl in it, I should mention, is really good. Her name is Jillian Estelle, I want to say. This is her first film. She's really natural, really likable, not precocious,
you got it.
cutesy kid at all.
And then,
So I liked her very much.
He's good. I just like to see him do well because he's so incredibly funny. Bill Burr plays.
Bill Burr's really good.
Yeah, he's good. He plays Costner's friend and a lawyer. And he's an incredibly funny dude, Bill Burr. So,
What's your number?
I think that said, it fell short of. I couldn't in good conscience give it a 5, so I knocked it to a 4.8.
Matt?
Yeah, way to take a stand.
Right.
5.
No one can say I'm not principled.
I'm 4.7, so our average is a 4.8. It is where?
32.
It's 30-ish, and dropping it was in the 50-ish. So it
It'll keep
means
going
well.
down.
This movie really, really means well, and falls short of its ambitions, I would say. Okay, thanks. Bye.